welcome to episode 16 of the Whatever Podcast, the show where we talk about
whatever!
It's good to be back here. We're in Davidson College right now, our old stomping grounds.
Wildcats.
Don't forget Lab.
Pause. This is the W for Wildcats, and then the C, Cats.
Ooh,
Clemson. Shout out to Jalen Maddie. You know, he originated.
So we're in the media lab. That's now the VR lab. This is our old stomping grounds. We were here for like almost every day as soon as we found out about this place. So it's cool to just be here again with the next generation of Davidson College. You know, like student, filmmaker, entrepreneur. This man wears many hats.
He's doing the hat right now. You go get it.
So it's a pleasure to introduce our friend Mike Foreman. Michael, great to have you here, bro. Why don't you tell the folks where you're from, your major, and like what you're doing like artistically and like some of the plans you got. Just give them a little summary.
All right, I got you. So, guys, my name is DeMichael Foreman, but you guys can call me Mike. That's NYC. No, I like to keep it unique. It's a bar right there. Make sure you caught that. But basically, I'm from Louisiana, and I found out about Davidson once I was in my senior year, and Davidson's really changed my life in a sense, being that I got a chance to go outside of the state where I'm from. Brother of about 4 different younger brothers, so I really wanted to give this some role models to look at. So went out the state and got a chance to meet so many great people and got a chance to get connected to Davidson's social capital in a sense. As that, so far I've been getting involved within campus doing tour guiding. So over the summer, this summer now, 2022, I've been doing tours for prospective students and stuff like that, getting to know them, telling them about Davidson, and also just leaving them with just saying college is a good thing, and I want you to look at the community of it, because Davidson's community just been so don't know the word, but just just been welcoming, but some word means to just grab you, that type of thing. It's been it just kind of just lurched on me, but that's a nasty word. We don't want to use that. Enticing, captivating. It just really just captivated me into a lot of things. So continuing on, I do tour guiding. I'm also part of Davidson Bhangra. For those who don't know what Bhangra is, it's an Indian dance style, really explosive, really fun. I am actually moving into a different position on the e-board on there.
Okay, e-board?
I'm gonna be in light production. So I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be picking how the show is gonna look and stuff like that, and also helping out with different moves and stuff like that. So part of Bhangra on there. I'm also the publicity manager of Dance Ensemble. So I do all the social media for Dance Ensemble, all of the good stuff, showing it up on Instagram and stuff like that. Outside of that, I'm part of Walt Radio, but I'm not probably going to be doing it that much this year. Walt Radio is basically student-led college radio station where people come listen, have some nice fun. I have a little motivational show on there. One Dream Talks, really nice. Well, I came up with DJ One Dream, that's my name. Also, outside of that, trying to think, doing stuff. So I am a little bit of an entrepreneur now. It's really new, really fresh. So just now getting into it. I got the Try Fund grant from the Hurt Hub, which is a place for innovation in business. So
What's
far.
The Try Fund grant?
So basically, the Try Fund grant is for students who have an idea within entrepreneurship or innovation within business. And basically, during college, you can be able to have a safe space to be able to grow up a business, or have that funding to do so, because that's always the barrier to funding.
Right.
So if people like your idea, you'll go talk to Kevin Cook or any type of representative within the Hurt Hub, and then they'll let you know, well, if your idea needs a little work and stuff, but I went to go talk to them. He said, hey, sign up for it and we'll give you the money. You did. Got up to $1,000, and if you continue to grow it, receive some success, you can start applying for other funds that will be available to you. Being the venture fund, which is up to $10,000, then the average fund, which is up to $25,000.
That's right.
And basically, the Hurt Hub is a way for you to work your way up to having a fully funded business by the time you get out of college. And that's what I'm working on myself.
And get some real experience with the gig hub opportunities and whatnot, so you get real money in your hands, real experience, so that when you walk into a job interview as someone fresh out of college, you can say like I have actual experience, and you're not gonna like lowball me just because I'm like fresh out of school and whatnot.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to make myself a highly acceptable applicant, but highly I can't think of the word because my brain's always moving off. But like I'm just looking at myself as a high applicant and a competitive one for like different applicant pools, and also have my own business to back me up on, and that's what I want to do full time. And basically what my business is One Dream 2 LLC.
Right.
And the 2 just stands for Imagine It. It's just the 2 numeral eyes, and basically it just stands, and it's just me making different videos for different companies, promotional or commercials, whatever they need at the time, and to fully fund my passion projects, which I do want to make my own film industry. I set like a little bit of a time limit on myself for 23. And we're gonna be working on that. Just put that image in my mind, and then just to get there. So
let's start there. Let's back up a little bit. So now you have the business. Great, happy for you, proud of you. How did you get into filmmaking? What was the thing that inspired you? Were you always into filmmaking as a kid? Was it like a movie that changed your life, or did someone give you a camera? Like, what was your origin story when it comes to filmmaking?
My origin story is just a little bit, I would say, more of like a superhero story in a sense. Like I had to go through something first. And that was from the instance of that, it was really me and my mom having issues during the time of my life. So up in high school, my grandmother passed away, and because she passed away, my mom started to grow really paranoid about things. She was really going through a lot of stresses in her life, and I was going through that point in my life where sometimes I would lie about things, and then me and my mom would just be on a rocky setting and stuff like that. So for myself, what I did was I thought to myself that I was feeling terrible, and one day I decided to make a song for her, and that kind of led me into getting into a little bit of music, which I'll explain in just a little bit. I made a song for her, but then I was like, that's not enough. How am I going to share out this music and stuff like that? Because I do not want nobody else to feel how I'm feeling, and I was feeling terrible. So what I did was I made my first Instagram page up in high school, and I started doing motivational videos. And so that was just the first step into me getting into film, or like a little taste of it there. And I didn't know if it was really an interest or what I wanted to do in my life. I just knew I liked motivational speaking. I like telling people things to make them feel good, because I like to feel good, and when I make somebody else feel good, it makes me feel good. Absolutely. And it's just good energy all around. Yeah, exactly.
It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And so that just pushed me for a little bit. I stopped doing it because I was like, I had a lot of stuff going on. It was like junior year of high school, and y'all know how that is. Junior year, a lot of work. So I just kind of fell off a little bit, and then up in my first year within college, I was taking different classes with people like Thomas S.B. He's a media specialist here, but he taught filmmaking. And it was in my second semester, and I was like, I was taking that class, and I was like, you know what, there are actual people that make films out there and stuff like that. And I'm really interested in talking about it. I like talking about it. I like thinking about different ideas. I have these crazy movie ideas, because we will always talk about that in high school. Me and my friends will be like, it would be crazy if like we went on a field trip here, but like that's impossible. So I'll be like, okay, what about if we started filming that? That'd be cool, or like that type of thing. And it's just kind of it was a way for me to express my different thoughts, like visually to other people. And also a way for me to like just express my ideas and my hopes of somebody seeing this and then feeling good in a sense. So that's kind of where my ideas of movie making came from, and filmmaking.
That's fresh. Okay, so I'm curious about Louisiana. One, just the differences between Louisiana and being transplanted into Davidson, the community, the town here. But two, what parts of Louisiana shaped your character up to this point?
Okay. Well, first difference is food. Louisiana has better food. Exactly. Finger looking. You know what I'm saying? Like we got good Cajun spices. Green onion powder, garlic powder, seasoned all. Like I can tell you, that's the three main things that we put in the food. Like
look, drop some gems.
I'm all about the spices.
Last night we found out what Taylor can do. So I don't
know.
Taylor,
look, we got the drink cool chilling. because it got warm, so it's still chilling.
Y'all gotta try that drink, bro. I'm
Okay.
telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Taylor doing something right, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You gotta date you with Taylor, bro. That's what you gotta do.
Get you Taylor.
But and then also the community was a little bit different. So basically, places that shaped me. I'll just kind of like answer this. Both was answering the question. First, it was St. Francisville. That's my hometown.
Okay.
St. Francisville is majority white, predominantly white.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have, actually, it's a tourist attraction there called the Myrtles Plantation. I don't know if you ever heard about that. They have like little ghost stories there, but I didn't know about that as a kid growing up. I was kind of, in my head, I was kind of like sheltered from like how the world would like view me as a black kid. I would always hear from my grandmother and stuff, and I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I have white friends and stuff like that. But just having that type of like shelter kind of gave me the idea of going like, I'm not gonna be like those people who say like I don't see color, but because I do see color, but I just see people. Honestly, that's what I see. I just see people, and we're all just living this life. Honestly, so me growing up in there just heavy in the prospect of being like, you know, all these people are just people. You know, I don't really have to be surrounded by black people to feel like, you know, I have to be home. That type of thing. Another thing is that my sense of family came from my different situations that I had. So moving outside of St. Francisville, I moved out there in sixth grade. I moved to a different house in Baton Rouge, and that's when I started living up in like the city type lifestyle, and quite frankly in the hood. Because St. Francisville, we lived in the quote unquote hood, but it wasn't really a hood. You know, it was more of like the congregation of where black people were. You didn't see that many white people. There wasn't no shooting. Like I wasn't used to that. I wasn't really like, you know, like you were scared to go outside. Like there was times that I'll be outside all night just playing with friends at parks and stuff like that. But in Baton Rouge, just when the game changed, it was more of like I wasn't scared, but it was like different. It was like, it wasn't like I can't go walk around and just go say, hey, like, you know, I can't say, hey, how you doing to everybody. Like people thought I was weird, like, cause I'll go to class and I'll be like, hey, how you doing to everybody? Like, you know, what's your name and all that type of thing. And they'll be like, you know, who are you? That type of thing. Like, why? Like, you know, you're kind of weird for like just being so friendly.
Sounds like New York. You cannot do that in New York. Everyone's like, well, what are you trying to like sell me if you're gonna? No one's just genuinely nice. You know, go ahead.
That type of thing. So you know, like it really was like a little bit of like a community shock, and so like, you know, I still kept doing it though, because, you know, I was just myself. I just didn't understand at the time like what I was doing, quote unquote, wrong, or like what I was not reading. So I'll just always be like that, and then people just knew me as a nice guy, and me being a nice guy kind of led me to kind of get bullied a lot in a sense. Not really bullied a lot, but like just get bullied in a sense. So that kind of shaped out my look of like the differences between where I'm going to. Now my look about family and how, like, you know, how I keep pushing throughout my life came from us living in those situations, because it was pretty tough. Like it really was. Like I would say some of the toughest years were in 8th grade to around 9th grade, like 7 to 9th grade.
Like financially or?
Financially, financially, emotionally, like all of that stuff. Well, high school was just an emotional roller coaster. I'll get into that story later. But like, financially, those were like the hardest years, and a little bit. I'll have to say like 7 to like all of high school. That would be like the most financial challenges that I had. But during 7th to 9th grade, the reason I say that is because I was living with my mom a lot, and she also had a boyfriend too, and like it was more of like. It was where I learned that, you know, what I really needed was like my family to bring it in there. Like even though we didn't have as much money, we didn't go out that much, which is the reason why I never been to a beach before, or like I didn't go out as much, or I didn't get a chance to like go out. Like people would be talking about, oh, let's go to this party and stuff like that, and I'd be like, I don't really do that much, because the thing is, I mostly spent time with my family. We didn't, at the time we didn't have cable and stuff like that, so we would play board games, or we would go outside a lot and like do s'mores and stuff like that. So the family values was oriented into me. I would have to give that a lot to my mom, because even though we didn't have it like that, she made it seem like we, you know, we had it all, that type of thing. And I'll explain it through like one story. Like there was one time we was still living in Baton Rouge, and, you know, my mom just got up and was like, hey, we're gonna go see a movie. we're going to the movie theater, and I was thinking to myself, like, Ma, I didn't say this out loud, like, Ma, how are we gonna do that? We don't have a car. Like, literally, the car outside wasn't working. So, like, literally what she did was she gathered up our money, we got on the bus system, and then we traveled. We got on the bus system, and then we traveled to go see the movie. We went to go see the movie, we got some food afterwards, then we went back on the bus system. So it was my first time riding the city bus with my family, and also, like, going to go see a movie, and it's always just that, like, moment and a memory to me that was like, yo, even though we didn't have it, she made it happen. And that was the crazy part of, like, she made that happen.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah, like, shout out to my mom, and Jennifer Irvin, like, you know, greatest, you know, love you, mom, that type of thing. Like, she made those things happen. And she gave me that prospect within my life to go, like, you know what, it don't matter how much money I have, as long as I have the people around me who I care about. And that I'm making that happen, and that's what really makes me happy, and that's what really life is about. And I kind of started thinking about what's the meaning of life. It is really for to make yourself happy. It's really for the, well, first please God, and then, like, you know, let God be the thing, let God give you that path to what you need to do. And then when you get to what you need to do, you're gonna love doing that because it's gonna make you happy. It's just living for what, like, really makes you happy, that type of thing, those different people. And so that one makes me think about life in a sense, and, you know, that got me in the mindset of doing that. And then that kind of just, and this was before, like, you know, we got into those different issues, but, like, I still never, like, lost that memory of my mom and her doing that. And, you know, that just kind of just skyrocketed my own feeling towards life, and, like, my loving energy about community and stuff like that, and about every man just being like, you know, look, man, I love you, that type of thing. I think those are the really big things that kind of grew me into a person. I have to say, like, the recent things is, like, once I started getting out, like, in my junior and my senior year, you know, I'm the oldest of 4 brothers, so I didn't really have a big brother or somebody to look up to, because my dad, he went to prison. So my dad was incarcerated, and it was just really me and my mom. And so, like, my mom would have boyfriends and stuff like that, but you know, I didn't really get close. There was only one dude I really got close to. And, you know, I don't want to speak too much on it right now, but my mom, and because of all the stuff she was going through, and then, like, her every now and then taking certain drugs and stuff like that, she would, like, insinuate this type of, like, weird relationship on me and my I call him my stepdad and stuff like that. So, like, you know, she kind of ruined that relationship. So like, I didn't get a chance to really learn anything from him either. So the 3 people that I would have to say, but that third person kind of encompasses a group of people that I really learned, like, different fatherly or like man values from, was from my grandpa. Her dad, my Papa Russell. Yeah, I didn't call him Russell, but I just call him Papa. But, like, Russell Irvin, he was a man of God. He got us into the church, and he was just a man in general. I can never, like, just, like, a lot of people, like, compare me to him in, like, how I act, like, and he passed away years ago, but it just dawns on me how great of a man he was. Cause, like, as a kid, I saw him, like, always this goofy guy. Like, you would never think there was anything ever wrong with him. Like, never. Like, sometimes he would get mad because we'll be like, you know, we're kind of bad. Like, sometimes, like that type of thing. Like, you know, like, but he'll never really whoop us. He'll, like, just yell at us. I'm like, hey, sit down, calm down, y'all. So, like, but you know, he would cook us breakfast, and, you know, like, I did not like when he cooked dinner though, because he would always cook the same thing: fried fish, red beans, and biscuits. And his biscuits would be no. The biscuits would be hard as a brick. I'm telling you. Bro. You know, you need extra water for them biscuits, bro. I'm sorry. It's like off the oven too. Like, usually biscuits get hard. I'm like, come on now, Papa.
And if he's making it over and over again, it's like, you're not getting better at this. It's the same recipe. Like, what are we?
My mom would even say, like, my mom warned me before then. She was like, is Papa making this? Like, yeah, she's making, let me guess, fried fish, red beans, and biscuits. She was like, I was like, yeah, how did you know? Default, bro. But breakfast, he would do things different. He'll be like, he'll cook some cream of wheat. You ever heard cream of wheat?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, cream of wheat. You know, like, I love cream of wheat. We'll get some nice toast with it too, right before we go to church. Man, great. But that'll be an L. They'll be sleeping sometimes. Yeah, exactly.
Eye display.
Exactly. I'm starting, you know, that's lean, you know, that type of thing. But
So based on all that, it sounds like you had a really not a very like typical or easy childhood, moving around a bit, different male role models in your life, or you know things you're going through at school. But all of that, I'm sure, has like shaped you in a way to like give you, you know, like when I think about how I got into music, all the things that I went through, all the pain that I went through was necessary to be able to like, one, have empathy and sympathy for others, and like one, to have that need to help out in some way. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do until I was like, I figured out art and music is how I'm supposed to like, that's my purpose, and then I want to use that to help people. So, and I found that here at Davidson. So like my question for you is, now that you're here at Davidson, and when you got in, like what's your plan for like, how do you plan on using Davidson to like further your goal, and like what's your goal here now that you're in this like hard to get into college? You got your brothers you're trying to put on for and like be a role model for. Like what's your vision for your 4 years here? You're a sophomore now?
Yeah, I'm a sophomore now.
So
So my vision, so I was actually telling Victor this earlier. I was telling him that I have 2 movies I want to make.
Yes.
And these 2 movies, one of them is the BSC historical movie, because I've seen that the BSC here is like an influential piece. And that's not only for black students, but like just for like, you know, students of color in general. But I don't see like a historical like video that shows the history of how it came up or anything like that. And I want to actually be the one to make that. And I want to make it to where like it's entertaining and informative at the same time. So I'm thinking about having a movie / documentary up and there with people talking about it, and students now acting it out and stuff like that. People like who can look like these characters, which I know is going to take a lot of thought, a lot of processing, a lot of like even a lot of money and funding. But I'm ready to go through those challenges for the BSc, and I'm even planning on having it as somewhat of my senior thesis. So like that's like my the big movie that I want to make academically. But like another movie that I want to make, and it kind of ties into my life. Me going through all those different situations that I went through in my life, me going through all that pain, that trauma and stuff like that. I want to make Alive Am I, and basically what the movie is about this guy who is going through a lot of things at the time, but one issue takes it off, and it's because of this girl that he was seeing and stuff like that. You know, like one night they were like messing around, and then like, you know, he took things a little bit too far, to a little bit more to her comfortability, and then like, you know, like Title IX thing and all that type of stuff. So like, you know, it just really kind of messed him up, because it made him think that he was a bad guy. And also other people started to like know about it and stuff, and the story got flipped, twisted, folded, you know, bop it, twisted, all of that type of stuff. So like and then people started to look at him differently, and that made him feel bad. So like, you know, that one situation accompanied with all the other stuff makes you think about suicidal tendencies. And what happens is that he actually decides to go do it. He grabs a gun, drives out. And what happens is, instead of him like just killing himself on impact, what happens is he gets sent to a different multiverse, where his self there is dying of, is very sick and he's dying. And so what happens is he sees the course of everybody who he thought was like, you know, feeling down, like was looking down upon him, actually see their true feelings about how they feel about him during that time. And some of them are bad, but most of them are like, you know, like I really cared about this guy, and like he was a good person, that type of thing. And at the end, he talks to himself. He gets a chance to talk to himself right before that version of himself dies. And like it basically just stops him from killing himself in a sense. And I think that's a way for me to be therapeutic towards the things that I felt, the things that I went through, and another way for to connect to other people that could potentially be feeling those type of thoughts, and get them to thinking like, hey, the people that are around you, they actually care about you, and they want to wrap you in with love and be like, look, we're here for you. And not only that, but also the God, also putting hints of God within there as well. Like thinking about the cover image for the movie being like, see, look, it really just dawned upon me when I was working out one day, and I was just looking down at my hands, and I saw I am right here, but this says body positive, and it was like right here. But I was like, you know, if I get some bracelets that says alive, it'll look dope, because I'm thinking of the hands being closed up, and then like being scratches right here, but the scratch is almost looking like a cross as well. So like, you know,
like the self-harming.
Exactly.
It's kind of like that Christmas movie, that, what's it called? You know that movie that comes out on like NBC?
Christmas Carol?
The Christmas Carol, right? Kind of like the dude who isn't sure if anyone cares about him, and then he sees like, you know, I think he kind of disappears like a ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's an important topic because, you know, when people, if someone doesn't tell you something, sometimes you just don't know that it's like true. You know, like people don't. If you don't say I love you, then it's like, I don't know what that means, especially if you're not interacting with too many people. So it'll be an important movie to make, and I wish you luck on it. I want to make sure we get this in. So, okay, you're at Davidson, you want to be the film guy, I'm with it. Tell me about how you go from motivational videos to like, I want to make feature films, to now I want to be like my own boss, entrepreneurship. When did that like spark happen where it's like, okay, I want to make films, but I need to be my own boss, I want my own business? Because that's not an easy decision to make. It's not an easy path. Like we know all the stuff that goes into that, the money that you got to put up, the commitment and everything. When did that like that seed like bloom?
That seed bloomed like literally as recently. Like I always have to say a year ago. My uncle, bless his soul, Damon Suggs, man. My uncle, I did not listen to him much in high school. Yeah. He was one of them uncles that would be like, you'll tell him about a good grade you made on the test and stuff like that. He'll be like, yeah, that's cool and all, but here's what you really should be doing. He's like one of those uncles. And, it got to the point to where even my friends would be like, oh, bro, like, I'll even tell them, I'll be like, yeah, man, I just started, writing some more movies. They'll be like, that's cool and all, but here's what you should, like, they'll even be making jokes about him, stuff like that. Yeah. But, he would always try to lay down game on me. Mm-hmm. But, I was a kid, but I was like, I don't really want to hear this right now. I want to think about that later. Yeah. But he got me in the mindset of going, like, except for thinking about that later, you can start working on it now. Because it's going to take time for all this stuff to grow. Absolutely. So, he was always pushing me in that ideas, like, instead of, like, it being in the back of my head, he just started full forcing it towards the front. Yeah. And so in the process of me being here and seeing the opportunities, I heard about the Hurt Hub. I was like, okay, business fund, I'll think about that like later within my years and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But over the summer, I was just thinking to myself, it was just one time I was just at home, and at that time I lost my bank card. So I lost my card, I lost my wallet, and I was just like depending on my mom. Yeah. I was depending on my friends, and I was thinking about, bro, I don't want to live like this. Mm. Like I don't want to live like this. Yeah. I do not want to be depending on nobody. I want to be able to go out there and, buy the things that I want to buy, move it how I want to move, and I want to travel. I want to go see the world. I want to go meet different girls, meet different people. Definitely the girls, Exactly.
You gotta meet the girls.
Yeah, exactly.
It's imperative.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I want to go out there and I want to actually take my little brothers and show them the world too. Mm-hmm. Like I ain't this ain't the princess movie, but I just want to get a chance to just show them like what you can be. Mm-hmm. And so I was just thinking to myself. It was one time I was writing my story. And it was just late at night. It was only me, and I guess it was just God. Because I was talking to myself. I was just like, man, I can't just live like this. I can't do this, man. Like I want to be my own boss. I want to be able to just have this money to where like it. And then when I did find my car and I got access to my money again, it was really low, and I was like, I can't even go out there and have fun how I want to because I don't have the funds for it. I just don't have the funds for it, and all my friends seem like they do. Mm-hmm. And another thing that kind of skyrocketed was me like I'm starting to get in the mindset like, okay, well I need to start making more money. Mm-hmm. And then my friends like, hey, let's go to Texas and stuff like that. And then I was like, at first I really wanted to go, but then I was thinking to myself, I have to borrow money from my auntie, from my mom, from like my grandmother and stuff like that, and they're already doing bad. I want to get to the point in my life where nobody has, like, I don't depend on nobody but God and myself. Like that's the only two people I have to want to depend on. Like of course depend on other people for emotional standards, for people like being there, but like no, like I don't want to depend on nobody financially. Yeah. And so it just was over the summer. I just thought to myself, like, the only way to do that is for me to start making revenue, making money moves for myself, not waiting on anybody else to get there, or just waiting on time, like just getting there, like get there now, that type of thing. So it just was that really. That's what really just sparked my idea of going like, let me make my own business and let me do something that I like, which is film, and I have the time for it to grow right now. Being within Davidson, having the resources that they have, having all of the opportunities, and it just really went from there.
There you go. I have a follow-up, but I didn't know if they wanted to jump
Go
in.
for it. I'm marinating this stuff.
Yeah. So now that you're like a fairly new business owner, right, and young guy coming up now, what advice do you have for someone who's kind of on the cusp of like I want to start a business, I'm not sure how to do it. What are the steps I need to take and whatnot? Tell folks, briefly about your experience going from like, okay, I want to start a business to like now I have my LLC and now I can start making like real revenue. Like give them some tips and just like what was your experience like?
So my own experience it's just I think I was in the right place at the right time. Being that you have to find the right people to give you those connections.
Mm-hmm.
Connections are the biggest thing within life because the knowledge that you gain is to grab those connections. It's not always about what you know, but it's about who you know. And you getting into those different circles, just them listening towards you, that's them like giving you passion and stuff, that can be the gateway towards you being a great person and you going within your career. And my advice to you would be that firstly, the first step, always envision your idea. Envision it and manifest it. Envision like where you want to be, your success level, the girl you want, the house you want, all this type of stuff, or like maybe the man you want or whatever person that you want. And then you envision that and then you just go make it happen. A lot of people fail because in their minds they fail. A dream is supposed to be unrealistic and scary. And I don't want to sit here and like just say all this is coming from me. It's actually come from Dame Dash. I watched like a little interview about it and my uncle sent it to me. And this kind of just gave me the motivation to do it. And I just say this to myself every day, that when you have a dream, that you don't think about what could go wrong. You don't think about that at all. You only think about what's going right. Yeah. Because when you have a dream, like when you're going to go get, like when you think about like your car that you want, your dream car, do you think about, oh man, I gotta get gas now, bro, that's great. Like no, you don't think about that. You think about, oh man, this car gonna be like this. I'm gonna be driving this way, that way.
Gas,
yeah.
The car is like the car flies.
Yeah, exactly. Like the car flies, it transforms, Bumblebee. Like you think about all that type of thing.
Absolutely.
No, you think about that. You don't think about what could go wrong. And the moment that you think about what can go wrong, it goes wrong. But if you just think about success only, what can happen for the best benefit, I promise you, eventually it's going to get there. Absolutely. Because the thing is, what you set in your mind is like, it's almost like this. Like, say if like I wanted to really go to the restroom, right? Yeah. I think to myself that I'm trying to get to this door to go to the restroom. But if I start to think about, well, somebody could be up in there, or maybe, maybe I don't have to really use it, or maybe I want to go to somewhere else first, I'm not going to do it, or it's going to hinder my progress to getting there. Yeah. Now, that's a bad analogy, but it's the same thing. The mind is so powerful. And if you just place in your mind that I'm going to make it there, I'm going to get there, it's going to look like this, and you just start making those steps to get there, it's going to start forming that path. Yeah. And don't let anybody else or any other thing get there in your way.
It's like God starts moving, the universe starts moving, you start like pulling these things towards you, because it's like when you think about these major things we're talking about, like your dream car, what is that to like the most powerful being ever, right? What is that? It's nothing. So if you really want that thing, like go get it. And especially now in this world that we live in today, there's just more opportunities than ever. Like you can do stuff like this and get direct to your consumer, and just like you want to start a business, there's all these sites that let you try to start a business. There's a lawyer who's down to help you like do that for you. You just get the money right, go get it. How do you get the money? Go work anywhere. Go get that job. Go like grind. Go like meet these people. Go to give up say like I'll work for you for free. I just want to get the game. Like you can. There's always a way if you look for one, and if you believe that you can make this thing happen. So that's a really great gem. I wanted to talk about your now that you're about to be a sophomore, going into your second year at Davidson. How are you feeling? Like this semester's about to start like Monday. How you feel going into the second year? Any tips for like as a former freshman to the new freshman? Like talk about that.
Oh yeah, I feel terrible. I'm just joking.
I like keep it a bean with us. What's happening, bro? We here.
Look. Okay. I feel pretty good for the opportunities, but I still feel scared. I'm nervous. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I feel scared and nervous and like just a little worried about what could happen.
Yeah.
And you know, that's always fears and things that we have. We cannot stop fear from happening, but we can change how we think about it and how it really promotes us. Fear is like one of the biggest things that can either hinder you or motivate you.
Right.
Like one of my things our uncle says to me that kind of just sticks in my head is that Alexander the Great, he feared a lot of things, and that's why he became great. And he used that fear, instead of making him run, make him push forward.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that we use fear for the brakes when we should use it for the gas. So my own idea for my advice to you for freshmen is being that, you know, you're gonna run into a lot of these problems. You're gonna run into problems with like relationships, or you're gonna run into problems with academics. But I promise you, bro, that you got it. Whatever's happening in your life is happening for a reason. And you don't see it because when you're inside the storm, you can't see where it's going to end. But trust me, when you get out of that storm and when that rain hits you and stuff like that, you're going to feel so better from when you're out of it, because you're going to learn how to handle it. Maybe you might have to build a shelter within there. You might have to learn different skills. Maybe it's trying to push you towards a different location. Whatever that storm is happening in your life, or whatever thing is happening in your life, is happening for a reason. And it's going to push you towards where you need to go. And so my own life, like, I'm going through certain things right now, and you know, it's, for me, I feel like God's propelling me somewhere. It's propelled me to you guys, these amazing people right here, being Lawrence and Victor. Like, you guys are really like, you guys are really inspirational and stuff like that. It led me to the Hurt Hub. It led me to here. And sometimes we need that fire to make us move, because only fire can make us move sometimes. Sometimes we're stubborn people. We're flawed creatures. Yes, we are. We flawed creatures, but I accept everything that happens. And so my advice to you, young man, young woman, young person, look, your college years, 4 years. 4 years is a long time. And a lot of things are going to happen through those times that it's going to make you feel like, you know, maybe life sucks. Like, maybe life does suck at times, but I'm telling you that those things are going to be moving you. It's going to be moving you, creating the person that's going to be the one that's going to change the world, or is going to make a great impact. And you are going to make a great impact. And it doesn't have to be within the world. It can be in somebody else's life that's going to infuse them to making a great impact to the world. So, you know, in your darkest times, make sure that you pray up, stay up towards God, and just know that that thing is going to be there to make you better.
Two things.
Go for it.
One, just to add, you know, you mentioned from going through something. When you're going through something, it's not an if, it's a matter of when. Just stick on that word right there, through. It's a prepositional phrase. It means when you're going through something, there's a beginning and there's an end. You may not see or know when you're going to hit that beginning. You may not see or know when you're going to hit that end, but you're going through it, and there's a set direction for it. That's it. Second thing, you said you was going to come back around and talking to us about the music that you make and the music that you into. So,
I got you. So
we was a professional rap group. Here, you can't talk about music. Slide.
I forgot about that point. That dude had to catch me.
Yes, sir.
All right, so basically, so when I started music, as I said, like, me and my mom was going through a difficult, rough patch in our lives. And during that time, I was listening to a lot. Did I say a lot? A lot of Logic. I listened to a lot of Logic. You know who that is? Logic, the rapper? Yeah. So, like, literally, I would listen to all his mixtape, all his albums up to that point. And one song just really stuck with me, and I liked how he did it. It was off of Young Sinatra 4 album. It was the one where he had his fans talk about how they missed him and stuff like that, and how they wanted him to come back and stuff like that. So I was listening to that song, and I was like, yo, that is a great concept. I like hearing other people's voices on there. So what I did was, I wanted my mom to know that I love her. So I made a Mother's Day song. I first found like a Logic / Joiner / whatever type beat. It was called 44 Lines. It's still on YouTube. And so, like, I took that beat. I learned FL Studio. Like, that was the first time I ever messed with music and stuff like that. So I learned FL Studio, slapped it on there, wrote down my verse. I was spending like each night just writing down the verse, see what I could play with and stuff like that. And And also during that time, I went to a bunch of people that I knew, and I was like, hey, I want you if it's okay with you, send me an audio file of how you feel about your mom.
Yeah.
Like why do you feel that way, and like, you know, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I got like, I think around like 10 or something people, all different friends and stuff like that. They hopped on basically, I spit out my verse first, and then like my verse was only like 2 minutes, but the song itself was like 10 minutes. And I played the beat, repeated the beat a couple of times, and basically what I did was I played the audio of my friends talk about how they feel, like someone, they'll say their name and then tell them how they feel about their mom, and basically from there, it just went on, and then that's what started my passion with the music and like stuff like that, because I wanted to preach out PLP, peace, love, and positivity, and stuff like that. So I made a couple more songs. I almost made an album. I didn't finish writing. It was just a lot of thoughts. I didn't feel like I was living enough during that time for me to make that album. I forgot the name of it that I was working on, but I have the cover picture, which is a picture of me in like a little tuxedo with my hat and drinking some coffee at a JCL convention, which was pretty nice. Just me lying on the wall, which I found like pretty cool. And I was gonna make an album during that time, but just the music kind of fell off, and I just didn't feel no more passion for it after a little while with just writing music down. Like when I'll be writing things, I feel like I'll be just writing the same thing over and over again. So I'll be like, you know what, I just need to stop. And so but I was also doing motivational videos at the time, and I was trying to release a song like every now and then. So I did around 4 songs. I did the Mother's Day song. There was another One Dream, One Son. That was like my last song I did. It was like the most trash one, because I just did not have as much passion as I used to. I was just kind of just doing it because I felt like I needed to. And there was a song, I forgot the name of it, but it's on my YouTube channel. It was like 30s, I think it was like a minute or something. It was like off of a Joey Badass beat. I like Joey Badass a little bit, so I did it off of that beat. And then there was one more, I think my dad's song. I made a song for my dad. And I sent it to him.
That's great. So Mike is a man of many talents. It's been a real pleasure to get to know you, and I love the way that you're moving, because it took us a minute to figure out what we were doing when we got here. It's like freshman year, we're just playing with the music. Sophomore year, it's like, okay, now we're a little more serious. And then it took us like 3 years to really get to that point where it's like, okay, we know what we want to do, and we know how we have to move. But you kind of came in already with like the mindset, like I gotta go get it. And I'm glad that we were able to meet at this moment in time, and I was able to just tell you how we did it, just to kind of get you over some of those like hurdles that we had to go through a little bit faster, and the fact that you're just moving through it, and you're like not wasting time, and you know what you got to do. It's like, I'm very proud of you. I have zero doubt that you're gonna like get everything you're looking for, everything you need, things that you don't even know that you can accomplish is gonna come to you, no question. Because listen, man, God is good, and you're just moving in like the right direction, the right path, and it's just like you got a good spirit, you got a good soul, you got a good head on your shoulders. So like, I'm very proud of you, and it's like this is cool. This is like a pleasure. This will be like, it'll be interesting. This will be like the first of like many interviews. We're gonna go back to this one, and like, he was just talking about it. Now he's like, he just got his Oscar. Like, that's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, I see all these things for you. So like, dog, I'm really proud of you, bro.
Well, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
It's just to top that off, continue to remember the testing of your faith builds endurance, so that you may be mature, lacking nothing. And even in the seasons where things are going great, you can appreciate those. When you face the seasons that things aren't going so great, you can appreciate those too, because that's still a blessing in building that fortitude. Because again, as you are fortified, you can fortify others. So yeah, all the best. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. So
I appreciate that.
We're gonna leave it off there. Great episode, a lot of gems. I'm glad we were able to get this in. So this is episode 16 of the Whatever Podcast. Stay tuned for all of Mike's upcoming like movies, and stay tuned for that BSC historical, like documentary,
Stay tuned for
Alive I Am, Alive Am I, and just all these other cool projects you're gonna like work on. I'm excited to hear them. We'll put your YouTube channel like in the description and whatnot, and so people can follow you and everything.
Thank you. I
But
appreciate
yeah,
it.
this is great. So episode 16 of the Whatever Podcast. Who knows where we'll be next? I don't
Who
know.
Who knows?
We-
Whatever, bro.
We
It's
might be
whatever.
like in a different country next time we come back. I don't know, but yeah, no, this is great. I'm glad we got to do this before I get up out of Davidson and all that. So if you see the last episode, you know what I'm talking about. So
I think this counts as episode 2 of the Next Generation series.
yes, that's true. This is like this is the next generation right here. Mike is the guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll leave it off there, and hope y'all are doing well and take care. Peace.
Peace.